During the pandemic, we had a lot of time on our hands that we spent alone. It was disorienting and created a need for some kind of faith because we couldn't rely on our friends, communities, when all we could do was meet each other 6 feet apart.
Have you arrived at anything profound?
I don't know if I like religion, but I like, you need spirituality. You need faith, but you don't need to have faith in God, but you need to have faith that
In something.
In something.
We're alone.
We are alone.
And you need to have some mitigation for that. Absolute profound aloneness that when you think about it can drive you nuts.
Yes, and this time has brought home that point of profound aloneness. And I think all religions, and they're very similar. There's a few. It's always on the edge, and those edges can be very rough in certain religions.
What do you mean by that? I'm not following.
Well,
the edge of what?
Well,
the fringe of observation that is dogmatic and absolutism, or is it on the notion of what is the foundational principle of religion, which is that there is a God that some prophet spoke to and brought down the words of, and have now rendered those words understandable by the masses.
Well, there's the mechanisms of religion, the actual stories and the facts that they, or the doctrine that they purport. Most of them are the same. Pagan, Judaism, Christianity, Muslim. Those three all have the same God. We all have the same God, and yet they're at each other's throats. And I go, are they the same God? And like the Jewish people will say, that's not my religion, because we use the same Old Testament. Now, I have not gone to any kind of theological studies in depth, but I go, 5 books. Abraham and Moses are important in all of them. All of them.
The pandemic with its isolation was hard, to say the least. And because we didn't have anything else, really, we needed faith more than ever. We had no distractions. Our support system was strained. Friends were not around. We had no social gathering. We had no third space to go to disassociate ourselves from our troubles. And they were big troubles. All we had was ourselves and the faith that we hopefully would make it through this catastrophe. We questioned our faith. Why did this happen? How could this happen? How could God, or whatever higher power you believe in, let this happen? What was the point? Challenges in life can make you stronger, but this was not a challenge. It was a lockdown. Where was the silver lining? Sometimes our faith was not enough. There were days when we just didn't have enough faith to combat what we had never experienced or seen before. Sometimes we searched in the wrong places, like too much food, or drink, or binge watching. Anything to stop the pain and numbness. And when we got down on ourselves and felt things were impossible and too much to endure, we even blamed ourselves. Why am I feeling so bad? I'm not starving. I have plenty of things to watch. I'm not in a war zone like Bosnia in the early 1990s. Maybe the problem is me. Maybe I don't have enough faith, or the wrong faith. Am I believing in the right things? I thought I had a higher power. Maybe it's not powerful enough, and maybe it's not high enough. And so we searched for an extra, different faith. We tried everything and anything. I even played the role of a pastor and gave sermons on Zoom. Yes, that's right. Years ago, I played a pastor in a play, and during the pandemic, pardon the pun, I resurrected the character as Pastor Sam on Zoom. I'm leaving a link at the end of this video to another video that explains how that came to be. When I played Pastor Sam, it was fulfilling to tap into my inner pastor, We all have an inner pastor because, as Martin Luther, the 16th century theologian, stated, we all have a direct connection with God. And I got in touch with a certain spirituality. It was not like I wanted to become an evangelical, born-again Christian zealot or some other spiritual prophet. I just wanted to connect and figure things out, which is what we all wanted and needed. And that's what happened. We had these virtual gatherings because we wanted to get together again, and we didn't know when we would. And that was when I realized that if you have the faith to take a step in the right direction, albeit small and even unconventional, you reaffirm your faith in humanity. And in bleak moments like those, you need that faith that is within yourself even more. God bless you, and thank you kindly.